room.
Are you all right?
Yeah. I just spilled some water.
Where did you go?
To get away from you.
Lily, I thought we were having a good talk.
I can't believe I'm even talking to you right now after what you did today.
People don't always understand why I do the things I do, Lily.
I think what you did today to Hayley was horrible.
You think it was easy for me? It's one of the most difficult decisions I've ever made.
Yeah, well, you made it, didn't you? And when it came to choosing between your niece's freedom and a cushy future life for yourself, you were just as selfish as you always have been.
Lily, I only did what I had to.
Yeah, just the same way you did it 19 years ago when you sold your own daughter.
It's not the way it happened. I wish my mother were here. God bless her soul. And if she were, I'd pull out every one of her fingernails until she made you realize I was not responsible for handing you over to those heartless people that raised you. Lily, I'm gonna make it up to you. Once I become a Capwell again, I'll have all the power I want. And I'll help you and Hayley. I'm gonna hire lawyers to work around the clock to prove that she's innocent. And I'll invite the two of you to come and live in the lap of luxury with me. Doesn't that sound nice?
I don't believe one word you or any other Capwell has to say.
You got half that right. Did Mason say something to you? Is that what you're so upset about?
You must know, Mason just threw me out of his apartment.
Well, I always told you, you have the loyalty of a snake.
Well, at least I know where I stand with him now. Out on my own, as always.
Where are you gonna live?
I don't know. And of course, I don't have any money. Mason handled all that. There's always my tent.
Lily, why don't you live with me?
Are you out of your mind?
Mary, a husband can't be made to testify against his wife, Ted, so you can't go back to jail. So are we ready?
No, there's no way you're going to get away with this, Mason. Now, Your Honor, what I'm saying is that
Mr. Capwell, excuse me, but I was under the impression that these two young people had been engaged for some time. Instead, what I'm hearing is a flagrant attempt...
Well, they are practically engaged, aren't you?
Well,
No, we aren't and never were. I'm sorry, Ted, but this is ridiculous. I'd rather go to jail. Now, if you all are here to take me in for questioning, I'm ready to go now.
I'll go too.
Ted, we still have until midnight. For heaven's sakes, will you think about it?
Hello? Miss Capwell, you in there?
What'd you do?
Just a minute.
A late night snack or something? What do they call that? A petit,
I think it probably is... Ow, stop it. The valet service. You see, I was going to have some things pressed. And since we're going to be leaving, I'll just tell him to go. I can't talk to you right now.
Well, it seems like you waste no time at all consoling yourself for your wayward boyfriend.
Look, Martin, I'll explain it to you later, okay? What do you want?
Well, I was just headed down to the casino. I was hoping you could join me. You see, it seems to me if I'm going to rush off to Santa Barbara and whisk Tori away, I need to know a little more about what I'm going to find.
Look, I need to talk to you about that before you do anything, all right? How about if I'll meet you in the casino in an hour?
Okay.
Hey, so you all set?
Yeah.
Well, good. Now that you've rescued your clothes, why do you say you throw them in a bag and we get out of here?
What, tonight?
Yeah. I mean, the room at the chateau is waiting. Why stay here?
I just checked in.
What made you pick Monte Carlo in the first place?
Well, I have some friends here. You know, I went to school in Paris. And in fact, we had plans for this evening. What about if I run out and I just tell them I can't make it?
I got a better idea. Why don't you call them on the phone and cancel? I think we need to be together now.
Yes, we do.
Besides, you know, what do you call the caretaker of a place like that? A chateau?
Château?
The chateau.
Long?
Long. The guy, this is Philippe. He's waiting up for us. Philippe, he's waiting up for us. See, because I told him to make certain special preparations. And I thought it was time that something went perfect for us.
I can't wait. I'll make a phone call. Okay?
I'll hop in the shower.
Yes. Can I please have the hotel casino? No. I didn't check the guide, but I just assumed there was. Oh, okay. Maybe he hasn't left. Listen, can you page Monsieur Martin Ellis, please? Right away. It's urgent. Yes, I'll wait.
Come on, you guys. Can't you see something wrong with this right off the bat?
I see a lot wrong with it.
Well?
Honey, what do you think?
Well, it doesn't really matter what I think. I mean, she's not going to marry me. She already said so.
I suppose she might have appreciated a somewhat more tactful approach.
I can't help remembering the time that you and Hayley were going to get married before Gina and your father interfered.
What about you, Dad? You haven't put in your 2 cents.
Well, fundamentally, Mason, I think it's a stroke of genius.
Thank you.
However,
A tough decision, though, huh? I mean, which is worse? Me in jail or married to Hayley?
look, Ted, I don't think you have much choice. I think at this time you have to go along with it.
It is Ted and Hayley's decision to make. We can't make it for them.
Well, I've already decided. I'm not waiting till midnight. I'm going to my jail cell right now. I'm telling you, these last-ditch efforts to save me are getting on my nerves.
Now, wait a minute, son. You got some time left. Where are you rushing?
I'll go along with you, Ted.
We'll see you in a little while.
Yeah, this is really funny. I mean, Mason wrangled me out of jail so I could go to your wedding, and you guys want me to go to my own.
There's an intimate, complex connection between marriage and wrongful incarceration, Ted. Between I do and I didn't.
No time left for him now. We didn't give him a chance. We didn't give him a chance to really care. To be friends, too, and not just lovers, to really get close. That's what I wanted for Ted. I wanted it to be perfect. But we screwed it up.
Why are you staring at me? I just can't get used to you. You being here, who you are, it's just not real to me yet.
Well, it's been very real to me. I've had years to think about you, about hating you, and imagining how angry I'd feel when we finally came face to face. I guess things that we imagine are always different when they really happen.
How am I different to you, Lily?
Well, no matter what I say to you, you never seem to get upset.
I'm really a pretty easygoing person, and especially when it comes to family matters. From the moment I found out who you were...
Oh, when you called me a slut and a monster.
Oh, from the moment I believed you. You could do no wrong.
I used to think that you'd hate having me back as much as I hate your sight.
But I don't. I don't hate you. You know that, don't you? I know it can't be easy. You've had the wrong idea about me for so long. I know I can't expect you to forgive me overnight. Even though I swear I didn't do what you think I've done.
Miss Lane, there's a telephone call for you.
Oh, thank you. Hello?
Just thought you should know that Haley's been brought back in for questioning. I suppose somebody should call Gina and let her know.
Well, I think I can take care of that.
Oh, do tell. Is she with you now?
Yes, you're exactly right. Do you think I should come down there?
I don't see what good it would do. I'm here with Ted. They're taking him back into custody, but keep you posted.
Okay, I think I'm going to be spending the next few days with a friend.
Dare I ask?
Please don't.
Gina, oh, yeah, you're making progress. Don't appear to come around too far too soon, huh?
No, I don't think there's going to be any danger of that. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
May your heart be filled with peace, Monique.
Monique?
That was, one of my few remaining followers. She said that Haley's been brought down to the police station for questioning again.
Oh, no. I better go see her.
And what makes you think she wants you down there after what you did this afternoon?
Damn that Mason. This is all his fault. You know, if I waited till people wanted to see me, I'd never go anywhere. Or Hayley.
Well, I guess that's one thing we do have in common. We both care about her.
You've got a good heart, Lily. I know that. People just misunderstand you. Like they always have your mother. Now, why don't you start packing, and I'll go check on Hayley.
Gina, I don't know.
Come on. You told Monique you were going to?
But, well, Monique's just an old pushy busybody. I told her that to get her off my back.
Just for one night? I mean, you don't have any place else to go. You can't go back to Meyson.
No, I know, but still, I...
Come on. I think we owe it to each other to at least give one another a chance. I mean, our life could be so much better if we would just try.
All right. Just for one night, though. That's it.
I'm so happy. Oh, thank you so much for making me so happy.
It's all right. He must have left. Thanks anyway. Wait, can you possibly give me the number for Hotel de Paris? Thank you. Bonsoir. S'il vous plaît, pouvez-vous porter un message à Monsieur Martin Ellis au casino? Ellis par là. Zut. Parlez anglais? Yes, I'd like to leave a message. Thanks. My name is Eden Capwell. I'd like to leave a message for Monsieur Martin Ellis. Tell him to please don't leave for the United States until I speak to him. It is no longer necessary. Ce n'est plus nécessaire. No, there's no way he can contact me. I'll have to reach him. Merci bien.
Did you make a call yet?
Yes, I made my call.
And why aren't you packed?
Because I am lazy and worthless.
Yeah, and what else?
And very hard to handle.
And what else?
And I'm gonna rip this towel off of you in about 2 seconds.
And what else?
Pack it in my suitcase. I steal the towels from hotels.
When you travel with a cop, you don't. I'll have you extradited.
Oh, and what else?
And take you into custody.
What else?
And subject you to various forms of interrogation.
What's that?
That's when I ask you a question, and you say yes.
And what's the question? Yes.
You're angry. I understand that.
Get out! Get out!
I love you.
Love me? Love? No, not me.
Yes, you.
No, your daughter that you've always wanted, that you now have, but you don't have no reason to have me now.
Say that.
How can you look me in the eyes after what you've done, Gina?
I'm sorry. All right, hate me if you want to. But at least marry Ted.
Why? Why, so after you marry Mr. Cowboy, you can be my mother-in-law? Believe me, that's reason enough not to.
Haley, think about it. He's the answer to all of your problems. You can't let Ted try to hold out in that jail forever. He can't do it. If he marries you, he won't have to testify. Without his testimony, they can't convict you, and you'll walk away scot-free. And you won't have to think about being the reason Ted's in jail.
Oh, I get it. I get it. See, I'm your backup plan to get the capital money. Is that it?
Of course not.
Well, that's the way I see it, Gina, because I know you're only in for this for yourself.
I care about you. I do.
I want you to leave me. I don't want to hear anything you have to say for as long as I live.
I'm not giving up on you, Haley.
Well, I gather that didn't go too swimmingly. No surprise. Suppose you and I have a little chat.
Mason, I have nothing to say to you either.
Di's catch, son.
I'm not going to force her, Dad.
But you could persuade her.
Dad, do you remember the things you told me the night I said to you that I was going to marry Hayley?
Of course I do. I said I was opposed to it. I said that Haley wasn't suitable to you and for you, and we didn't know enough about her. She was a wild card. But I remember you also said to me that no matter what, you loved her. So I'm asking you now. Yes, the circumstances could be better. But putting all that aside, is life with Haley what you want? Or isn't it?
Haley, you've got to somehow distance yourself from how you feel right now and think about the future.
Mason, you're wasting time. I'm not listening.
Well, if you won't do it to save your own skin, then why not do it for Ted?
You know, you want me to marry a man that I don't even trust. Well, maybe you Capos can do it, but I'm not able to.
Maybe I'm not the best person to be politicking here. Name probably comes right below Gina's on your 10 most chokeable list. Would you talk to Sophia? She's here. I know she wants to see you.
I will listen to anyone who walks through the door, but no one's going to change my mind.
Why not?
Because I want to confess.
What?
I want to confess. I want Ted off the hook, off my conscience, out of my life, just like everyone else, including Gina. It's what I want. It'll be worth it to me.
Is it okay?
It's gorgeous.
The Chateau des Anges was built in the year 1388 for the Duke Henri de Magon.
I wonder if we're going to look this good in 600 years.
It's awfully big for one man, don't you think?
2, mademoiselle, and a few dozen servants. You see, he lived here with his only son, Edouard de Bourgogne, who unfortunately died at the very early age of 24.
Aha, so that would account for the, ghosts.
Oh, right, the ghosts, the ones that linger on in the halls and so on and so on.
You see, like all legends, this one has been elaborated upon throughout the years for the sake of the tourists who seem to like this sort of thing.
Do we like this sort of thing?
No.
You, feel chilled, madame?
Well, actually, I do just a little bit, but I think it's probably just this part of the room.
Ah, c'était une cold spot. It never goes away. It's part of the old story.
What is the old story?
Are we going to hear things that go bump in the night, Philippe?
Well, according to the legend, Anne de Bretagne, the daughter of the cellar master, fell desperately in love with the young Duke, Edouard, and they would meet night after night down in the wine cellar. And I dare say that they weren't there to discuss the vintages, monsieur.
Well, those rascals.
Oh, come on. I like this so far.
Well, they were planning to run off together. At that moment, the old Duke arranged for the marriage of his son.
Oh, it figures.
Well, Anne was so upset at the announcement, she wanted to punish Edouard. So she pretended to take poison. And she made sure that the Duke knew about it.
Well, that just goes to show you. You know, furniture may have changed, but women haven't.
We, unfortunately, Edouard began grieving immediately. And so he threw himself off the parapet of the chateau, drowned in the moat. Anne was so stricken by this that she took the poison after all.
You know, I wonder if Shakespeare copped Romeo and Juliet from this story.
Everybody steals from the French. They do it all the time. But the story continues to this very day. Every night, at the appointed hour, the ghost of Anne passes through the corridor here, on her way to the tryst down in the wine cellar. And the ghost of Edward has been observed on the parapet tower. Night after night, for centuries, they must act out this terrible tragedy. You will need fresh towels.
You know, that's hot stuff. I can see what the tourists eat, that kind of thing.
Oh, I think it's tragic and romantic. I think we ought to be nice to Anne and Edward while we're here.
I will have the towels brought to you, and I wish you a very nice stay.
Thank you.
Listen, Philippe, before you leave, if I wanted to make a phone call, do I just dial the...
Madame, I'm very sorry, but because of the electrical storm, the phones are not working. Perhaps tomorrow, huh? Good night.
Au revoir. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. So, what do you think?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. Magnificent. And so are you.
It's over. It's over between Ted and me.
Not if you don't want it to be. Is that what you want, Hayley? Is it really? Well, I don't think it is.
Well, believe me, it is.
Well, you really won't give yourself a break, will you? You're really that angry with yourself.
Believe me, I am not angry with myself.
Yes, you are. You believed in a lot of people, Hayley. You really believed in them, and every one of them betrayed you. So you're hurt, you're angry, and you feel like a fool, and this is your punishment. Isn't it, Hayley? What if things were different? Like they were before. You would have married Ted in a minute. Things were different. That's right. And you can make them different. You can. You can make them different by, first of all, forgiving yourself, and then forgiving Ted for making some very understandable mistakes. And you can try to rise above all the manipulation that was done to you, all the lies that were told to you, and try to figure out what Hayley really wants, not what Meyson wants, not what Gina wants, and not what I want, and not what you might be tempted to do. You listen to me? What you might be tempted to do to get back at all of us. I really hate having my son in jail cell. I hate having you here, but I'm going to tell you something. I'd hate it just as much if the two of you were in a marriage, trapped in a marriage of convenience. Now, if you're going to do it for that, don't do it. All I'm asking from you is not to throw away a chance for happiness. Just to spite all of us. It's not worth it, baby.
Try and deny you're still in love with her.
Things were different the way they used to be. You'd marry Ted in a minute, wouldn't you?
Yes, the circumstances could be different. But is a life with Hayley what you want? Or isn't it?
Meyson?
Guard? Yeah. Can you get my brother Meyson? Tell him I've changed my mind.
I don't think there was a square inch of that chapel that wasn't gold leaf.
Yeah, well, it smelled like mildew.
Oh, what it was the fragrance of history.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh, it's so grand. I don't know how you're paying for all of this.
That's kind of a rude question.
I'll cut my tongue out in the morning.
You know, I do have a little bit in my piggy bank from my James Bond days. I'm not totally... So, you like this. You're impressed, right?
I'm stupefied.
No, you're not. You've been to lots of places like this. You used to live in France.
I'm not in a castle. I mean, I love it. And I love you.
I believe you.
And why do you look so sad?
Because I suddenly can see just how important this is to you. I mean, you've been going out of your way to make me realize so that...
I just want you to know how much I appreciate what you're doing.
I know. Because you don't think this is the kind of thing I do. And it's not. Look, don't get me wrong. I like this joint. We wouldn't be here if I didn't, but it's just... This is easy. This just costs money, you know? I mean, sometimes it's the hardest thing in the world for me to get away from the damn station house in time to get home and meet you for dinner, you know? I mean, to me, that counts a little more. You understand what I'm saying? Breaking a silence after we've argued, that's hard for me, but I do it. Or working on your car on my day off. I just think that I do a lot of little things to prove to you how much I love you, things that are more important than something like this, and you don't seem to notice.
It's not that I don't notice. I do.
Well, then why is it that it's not as important to you as me running my motorcycle into a retaining wall? I mean, to me, that's a prime example of stupid, nothing else.
I guess maybe I just want you to get as crazy as I do sometimes.
That's not me, darling. I don't do that anymore, you know? And it's ironic, too, because you were the one who made me respect myself enough not to want to go crazy when something goes wrong.
Look, Cruz, you're asking me to read your mind sometimes and then not read it the next. You think I should know how you feel about ordinary day-to-day things. What happens when Victoria is hanging all over you, or I know that you've been with her, or I say something and you start defending her? Am I supposed to take that as signs of something, too?
You know, none of this gave us trouble, did it? Before Tori.
No.
Well, you know, I think we better get real honest with ourselves about what gives her that kind of power over us. In fact, we're not leaving here until that's settled.
I know it's going to be a little cramped. It's a shame I'm not already married. You could have a whole wing at the Capwell estate. You know, the one thing I keep thinking about. I can't wait for Brandon to get to know you. I mean, he has a sister, a real sister. What I always dreamed of, but I didn't think it was possible.
I'm using all your extra hangers.
That's all right. I'll just wrangle some more from the dry cleaners at the corner. There was once a time when I thought Cece and I were going to have a child together. I was so happy. And then when it didn't happen, I mean, I thought that I would find the child. I would be able to replace the child that I thought I'd lost. But it didn't work out. It was awful. I won't go into the details. There was a time when I didn't even want to go on with my life. I just thought I'd pack it all in. I never imagined this would happen. You don't know what it means to me to find you. Sort of an answer to my prayers.
You know what this place reminds me of? Reminds me of home, of the atrium. Like how I used to look at it when I was a kid. All big and ornate. Cold.
I didn't know you thought of your home that way.
Neither did I. I guess I'm thinking of the time that Mama was gone. Oh, we thought that she was dead, but Daddy never said anything. He just said that she was gone forever and that we would never see her again. You know, I thought that she had some kind of horrible disease. And that's why they sent her away, is because we couldn't see her anymore. I also thought that I would get the same disease and Daddy would send me away. I remember I used to pass his room on the way to mine. And I would hear him crying. It was so frightening because I depended on him so much. He was like Hercules to me. He was perfect. And he was brave and strong. And when he was crying, it meant that he was as alone and as frightened as I was. And I used to run away from his room as fast as I could.
I guess I was lucky, you know. My parents had the perfect marriage, which I figured meant that they only wanted to kill each other one day in 5.
What I'm saying about you and me is that I always feel like we're on red alert, like something's cropping up.
Like what?
I just don't want to take anything for granted.
Well, you know, I wish you would sometimes. I mean, you treat our relationship... If it was a person, it'd be an invalid. You're always checking its pulse or taking its temperature. It's like you want to give it shots all the time to speed up its heartbeat. Do you know what I mean?
What I'm trying to say to you is that I think I realize that no matter how much you promise me or you reassure me, I'm afraid that I'm going to be sent away.
No, never.
Well, like how it happened. Daddy sent me away.
No, but it was nothing that you did.
For 5 years. To Europe. As far away as he could send me.
Eden, your daddy loves you.
Don't you see what I'm saying? It was like I thought. Like a horrible disease I had imagined Mama had.
Children don't understand.
Well, neither do grown-ups. I test. I create impossible situations for you. Just to see what will happen. What I know will happen.
Eden, I am never going to send you away.
But do you see why I get furious with me and you when things don't go right? You have let me hope that we can be happy.
It's funny, you know, I play the flip side of that coin. And when things get weird, I just figure, well, you know, there's Eden. All the rest of this is going to pass.
I will try to change.
Yeah, you really just got to accept the facts. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is good, though, baby. This is what we've got to do here, you know? I mean, we're not going to iron everything out overnight.
Going to accomplish anything.
What I'm worried about is what you're going to try to accomplish behind my back.
Rick, we are all under a lot of pressure. Leave here with me for a few minutes to the two of us.
For what? Sophia, I can't stand to hear another uplifting speech about how to deal with my grief and get over it.
All right, I am just asking for a chance to make a little peace between us. There has been a lot of love overlooked.
You're sure about this? I don't want to hear later on that I forced you into anything.
That's what I want.
Well, I'm proud of you, Ted. It's the right thing.
I guess we'll see about that.
Yeah. I'll leave you two alone.
Have any questions yet?
Not until Mason gets me another lawyer.
Hey, I've been doing some thinking. Actually, a lot of thinking. I mean, I've been listening to just about everybody. My mom, my dad, Mason, and of course, most of all, myself. I think we should do it. I want us to get married. So I think you should reconsider.
I see. Well, so are you doing this because, they want you to?
No, that's not why. I mean, you said you've always wanted to save yourself. I think this is probably the best way. I mean, I won't have to testify against you. You will not have to confess anything to keep me out of that silly jail or ever worry about going to jail yourself for something that wasn't your fault. Yeah, look, forget what you think about me. I mean, you know, whatever happens between us, I'm always going to be on your side. I'm always going to care about you.
Right. So what are you going to think when we're stuck together and one of us doesn't want to be there? I mean, you know, it's kind of painful when love is on one side and not on the other.
What are you saying?
I don't love you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I understand. I accept that. I mean, if that's really what you feel.
It is. And I don't trust you either.
That's understandable.
Well, you know, Ted, I've been doing a lot of thinking myself, and, I don't want to go to jail for the rest of my life. I feel I've been taking too much blame for Lily and her followers.
So you're going to do it?
Well, I need to know something first. Do you love me? I mean, if you do, then of course this isn't obviously going to work. I mean, I don't want to feel horrible when you love me and I don't love you back.
Hey.
You know, you are right, but you shouldn't let it get to your head.
About what?
Oh, then I treat things all kind of crazy, and then I take problems like they're the end of the world. I mean, coming to Monte Carlo was a milestone in neuroses, even for me.
No, I don't know. I think you've done worse. You know, what you did to the car made me a whole lot more nervous.
Oh, don't remind me. It was a Ferrari.
Tell me about it. Actually, I think all things considered, that taking off somewhere wasn't such a bad idea. Of course, I wish you'd let me know first, but it did snap me out of my fog. I mean, I was running around saying everything's fine, don't get upset. Who's the lunatic in that picture?
Well, I would rather you have done that than gone the other way, said, everything's not fine, time to panic.
Baby, you got me to see the need and to take it seriously. And that's all you really wanted, isn't it? To happily ever after. We gotta believe it's out there.
I'm not gonna say I don't have any feelings for you.
I'm asking you if you love me.
No. No, I do not love you. So you see, we're a perfect match. I mean, we both want to get married and we know why we're doing it, so we're not gonna be hurting anybody because of it.
Right.
So let's do it. I mean, we can put all that mess behind us then.
Yeah, well, that's what I want.
Yeah, and of course, if anything were to go wrong in the future, then we can always get a divorce, annulment.
Yeah, I'm sure it's easy to undo. Well, you might as well go get Meyson. I'm sure he'll be very happy.
Yeah, you will be. Somebody should be.
You're my son, and I love you very much. Very much, and I hurt for you. And I feel inept when I'm around you. I do. Everything I say sounds foolish and it sounds shallow. I haven't been much of a mother to you, I know, but I am dispensing advice to you. I'm claiming you as my own. I mean, if you met a stranger on a train and they walked up to you and said they were related, you wouldn't have the tendency to want to pull them into you. Look, you can hate me if you want to. Be my guest.
I don't hate you. I hate that I didn't have you before. I hate that you have children that are more important to you than me.
That's not right. You've got that wrong. They're not more important. I've known them longer, so I know them better. Maybe if you could just accept us, you could feel more accepted. Cece has grown to have tremendous admiration and respect for you. You know how hard it is for a guy like that with all his...
Yeah, but he's still protecting us. Putting his own son first, isn't he? I would probably do the same thing.
I bet you would. Ted is young, Rick. He's a lot younger than you are in many more ways than just years. You've been through so much. Ted hasn't been through anything like that. Maybe Cece's just protecting him.
I know.
Maybe he's asking you to be understanding. You've been standing on your own 2 feet for such a long time now. Look, I know it's not fair to be the one that's asked to do all the forgiving. You know what happens? That falls on the shoulders of someone stronger.
Excuse me, Mrs. Armani?
Yes.
Mr. Catwell just called, and he said to tell you that a ceremony's about to take place and that they want you to be there as a witness.
Thank you.
So that's why he dragged me down here for this hearts and flowers. He didn't want me to prevent the marriage.
Rick, that's not true. It's not true.
Just give yourself credit. Mother, you almost made it work.
Now, you wait a minute.
Hey.
What?
Hey, I love you. And I want to thank you for bringing me here.
It's nice, huh?
I feel very calm.
Me too.
You know, except for a minute ago, I thought I saw what's her name, passing around in the hallway.
Really? Was she cute? Maybe
it was
we
Philippe with the towel.
Oh, doesn't the lady have an active imagination?
Maybe you have an active imagination.
I think I do.
What would you do if I was dead?
If you were dead, darling, I would hurl myself off the parapet into the moat.
You.
What happened to that knot? Me and the Duke Jr., see, we're like... Get your hands off there, Edie. We were like soulmates.
Oh, like totally soulmates?
Totally awesome soulmates, like tubular mates.
Well, I would take poison if I hadn't done it already.
Well, I'm glad we've settled that contingency.
And I would haunt the Orient Express, and I'd have a cold spot by the maitre d's stand.
You already have one.
And at the beach? And at your house? And at your office?
Nellie, whoa, Santa Barbara's a big town.
Yeah, well, if I had lost you, I'd have a lot of places to haunt. I would hire a ghost limo so I could cover a lot of ground.
Maybe you can cover all the ground you want. Just don't forget to haunt my pillow. Okay?
Hayley, I told you everything's going to be all right. Sure. You're making me so happy.
You're making me very annoyed.
How do you feel? You all right?
I don't know. I'm numb.
Well, it'll be over before you know it.
Cheerful thought. I mean, it's not exactly how I imagined my wedding, but the heck.
Good evening.
Добрый вечер. Судья Макали.
Thank you for coming. I think we're all in readiness.
Not quite. I'm well aware, Mr. Capwell, that this intended marriage is being performed for the sole purpose of obstructing justice.
Well, I beg to differ, Your Honor. Why, Ted and Hayley are as much in love as two young people can be. Tell him.
Tell him.
Mr. Capwell, you and everyone connected with this affair, but you in particular as a public servant, should be ashamed of yourself. I refuse to be party to it.
Judge McAllister.
My apologies, Mr. Capwell. Good night.
Well, that tears it.
No, wait. I have... Lily, you're an ordained minister, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, that settles it. You're going to perform the ceremony.
Tonight on Alf, the phones are ringing off the hook when Alf becomes a salesman. And the cosmetics business will never be the same when Alf paints the town green. Don't hang up on Alf. Then fasten your seatbelts for amazing stories tonight.
Stay with TV 10 for the Daily News, named the outstanding news organization in the Mid-Atlantic region.